Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 with Newcastle United. It is the 1st of January, the transfer window is open, we've already made one signing, and it is a signing that we've probably needed to make since the summer, and I decided to try and risk it with Marlon Charles, and instead, Marlon Charles as an attacking midfielder didn't really work. Greg Huddle has been that attacking midfielder for most of the season so far, 13 starts, 5 off the bench in all competitions, an average rating of 6.95, so arguably, I don't really need to replace him, but I have, and I've replaced him with somebody who's reasonably expensive, which is no surprise. It is Thiago Almada, formerly of, who is he formerly of? Isn't it Vélez, formerly of Vélez Sarsfield at the start of the game in Argentina. He signed for Juventus, or Zebra, for £6 million. We've now signed him for £30.5 million, and I think he is most certainly an upgrade. Yes, he is getting paid a lot of money, £140,000 a week, but we've got the money to burn. We have literally, for the last probably 3 years, we've been sat on a huge pile of cash that I'm kind of refusing to spend. Now we're starting to spend it. Also, we have sold Rafael Santos Bor. He's gone to Swansea for £14 million, so not a huge loss on him. He had a decent season a couple of years ago, so yeah, he was okay, did a reasonable job, got a sensible amount of money from him. I don't think the board can be too annoyed with that one. Okay, the board were happy with it. The fans, not so sure, with a C. Fair enough. Also, Aaron Banks, who we signed from Man City, has also left, going to Bristol City for about £500,000. In between episodes, we've gone undefeated. Obviously, we played Manchester United in the last episode, losing in the very last minute against a James Maddison goal. Since then, we've only conceded once. We beat Oxford in the Carabao Cup quarter-final 3-0, Monasterio with 2, and Matthias Jakobsen getting on the score sheet here. Against Fulham, it was a 2-0 victory. Marlon Charles and Greg Huddle from the penalty spot. Marlon Charles was a left-back in this one. Matthias Jakobsen once again getting on the score sheet to give us 3 points against my former team Everton, and then against Arsenal it was a mess. It was certainly a mess. Matthias Jakobsen getting on the score sheet again, this time at the wrong end. A Robert Lewandowski penalty after 6 minutes as well. Tomori getting himself sent off. Christ getting himself sent off for 2 yellow cards. Bit of a mess, but I'll take a point. It means that we are currently sat 6th place in the table. We are 3 points behind Arsenal, but their goal difference is much better than ours. We are kind of chasing a Champions League spot, and as a Southampton fan, kind of don't want to get it, because I'd love to see Saints qualify for the Champions League. Probably not going to happen in my lifetime. Here we go then. Chelsea on the 1st of January of 2026. I can't believe we're on 2026. Chelsea haven't been the same team since Frank Lampard took over. So start of the save, they finished 9th, 6th, 7th, 9th, 12th, 8th last season with Paco Yemez in charge. Are they going to do much better? Right now they're currently sat 12th in the table, so arguably, probably not. They're also not on particularly good form, inconsistent, losing to Man City and Leeds and Norwich by considerable margins as well. Beating Spurs and Genk, I assume the Genk was a Europa League match, but yeah, we should be able to get something out of this Chelsea game. The starting lineup then for the Chelsea game. In goal will be Adonam, a back three of Fernando Zelaya, Matthias Jakobsen and Big Dids. Johnny Santos and Marlon Charles will be the 2 wing-backs. Guendouzi and Lewis Cook will be in the middle today. Obviously, Christ has managed to pick up a suspension, so he's going to miss this match. Thiago Almada, who's only been in the country for less than 15 hours, I assume, is going to be making his debut behind Franco Di Matteo and Nicky Monasterio. I'm also going to put Jordan Ormerod on the bench. He's played a couple of times off camera for us. He's actually played 4 times off camera for us. He is, I think, our next big star. We're going to put him on the bench instead of... Hold on. Right, we've got too many centre-backs. We've got Suter and Panzo on the bench. We've got 2 right-back, or left-back and a right-back in Willock and Helinho. We're going to get rid of Helinho. Probably a risk to get rid of Helinho off the bench because Marlon Charles is a little bit tired. Just seen as well, I know it means nothing, squad numbers, but our right back is number 7 and our left back is number 8. Talk about modern football, that's what it is. You might also be asking, where's Robert Lewandowski? Well, he's still here, however he's not very good. So he doesn't get as much football as perhaps he should do because he doesn't really play particularly well when he does, and he often misses penalties. Johnny Santos, long ball forward early on, 2 minutes 40 seconds. Nicky Monasterio goes for goal. It's a save from the Chelsea goalkeeper. We win a corner. I'm hoping our corners and free kicks aren't broken like they were in the last episode. Almada goes over to take it. This is one of the reasons why I brought him in, because he can actually take corners. Guendouzi controls it. Di Matteo crosses in, doesn't manage to find one of our players, and Chelsea can potentially break with Christian Pulisic running down the right. Marlon Charles with a wonderful slide tackle there. Free kick for Chelsea, 11 minutes on the clock, into the area. Kovacic goes for goal, Adnan holds on. Is that the whole highlight? The Brazilian goalkeeper has it in his hands. Is he going to throw it out? He rolls it out gently to the Paraguayan. Now Big Dids, the Ivorian, forward to the Englishman. Marlon Charles on the left, runs into the space that he's got for himself. He's going to keep going on the floor. Franco Di Matteo takes a touch and just places his effort wide of the post. That was an awful miss. Throw inside our half, very deep in our half. Emil Smith-Rowe, Camavinga crosses in. Velasco Smith-Rowe collects it, goes for goal. We're 1-0 down. We've had 2 chances where we probably should have scored. Instead, Chelsea have taken their only chance, and they are 1-0 up. Throw for Chelsea on the opposite side now. Kovacic gets round his man. How's he done that? Kamara crosses in. Big Dids gets it headed down. Adnan clears Marlon Charles' weird pass back. Nicky Monasterio tries to run past his man. He does so. He needs some support. Is he going to go it alone? He goes it alone, and his effort is not very good. Straight at Marcos Paulo, the Chelsea goalkeeper. I'm going to demand more. We're not doing particularly well. I say we're not doing badly. 6 shots, just 2 on target. We've missed a couple of sitters. Very quickly approaching half-time. It is going to be 1-0 to Chelsea. We've not been particularly good. Our assistant manager, Luis Nascimento, says that it was disappointing, which means that is free rein for me to shout at them. So, Guendouzi 6.4, Almada 6.4, Di Matteo 6.4. What do we possibly do here? Do we potentially change over to the tiki-taka? Is that a thing that we try? We haven't played the tiki-taka for a while. We're going for it. Let's see if it works. Let's try and break down this Chelsea side. It's not going to work. We're 10 minutes into the second half. We've had no highlights whatsoever. I'm just going to go positive, give him a little shout as well. We're going to get nothing in the second half. Right, time for a change. Di Matteo off. It's going to be David Francis. I was going to say Jordan Ormerod. No, we need a goal. Guendouzi also going to be coming off. It's a Joe Willock, I think. Swap you two over. Neither of you two can really play there. That's all we're going to do for now. We've still got that final sub, which I don't really have enough options. It'll maybe be Greg Huddle. Final 10 minutes, and we do finally have a highlight. Willock with the ball edge of the area, crosses in. Nobody is there. It's actually our former player Tosin who clears it. Marlon Charles gets tackled by Tosin as well. And do not do this to me, Tosin. Don't do this. Plays it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Lumps it upfield. Smith-Rowe, the goal scorer, back to Aït-Nouri inside his own half. He's going to try and take it round Willock. And Willock tackled himself. Willock ran towards him and just fell over. What was he doing? Aït-Nouri once again. Malang Sarr, Nouri passing it around our Chelsea. They're doing actually a very good job of being better than us, which is the first time they've done that in a few years. Tosin with it inside the Newcastle half. Gets around Charles. Charles has fouled him. Charles is getting sent off. What a silly bloody idiot. We've not deserved anything from this match. Nothing at all. Right, Almada, if you actually want to move, there you go. It's time for you to come off. Johnny Panzo is going to come on, and Panzo's just going to have to be that left back. It's not gone well. It's not been a good match, not been a good result. Malang Sarr's throw, we've got 6 minutes. We do have the ball, though, with the Trinidad and Tobago international David Francis, who gets round his man. He's going to run into the area. He was offside. He was miles offside. Why is Nicky Monasterio so far offside? He was easily about a metre offside there. Easily a metre. Like, why did Francis even think that that was the thing to do? Throw for Tosin to take for Chelsea. We've still got 3 minutes to play. Kovacic, can we nick the ball away? Counter-attack. Smith-Rowe scores again. Really? They've done nothing this half. Absolutely nothing this half and scored a goal. Well, it's not a good result, is it? We are going to drop down to 7th place. Norwich will leapfrog over us somehow. I don't know how they've gone over us. I'm not sure how they've managed to do that, but that's not a good performance. Only Adnan really, the only player to actually come away with any form of sort of plaudits. I guess you're getting a shouting at because you were all rubbish. I was going to bring you in for training, but I think we've got a match in about 2 days. Well, that is going to do it then for the first episode of the January transfer window. I say that because we're going to probably have 3 episodes in this January transfer window because obviously after beating Oxford, we qualified for the Carabao Cup semi-final. So we are going to have the first leg against Wolves and then the second leg against Wolves of the Carabao Cup. We're going to hopefully get ourselves to a Carabao Cup final. We have got history in this competition in the semi-finals. I think it's this one, isn't it? Or is it the FA Cup? It's the FA Cup. We've never been this far in the Carabao Cup, have we? Yeah, it's the FA Cup. We got knocked out by Chelsea and Arsenal 2 seasons in a row. Right, we've never really tried to go too far in the Carabao Cup. Maybe this is the season that we do it. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Next episode, as I mentioned, will be the first leg of that Carabao Cup semi-final against Wolves. We've got Brentford in the middle in the FA Cup. That should be a comprehensive victory, but we will see, because we're not doing particularly well at the moment. If you did enjoy this episode, do remember to leave a like. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I'll be back next time with more Football Manager.